Hi everyone, welcome back to All the Mods 9. Today I'd like to start getting into some more stuff for obviously the All the Mods Star. One of them here is extreme reactors. Now we need some insanite or insanite or however you want to pronounce it. There's a whole quest line for extreme reactors, and obviously power is going to be a big thing if we're starting to make tons and tons of items and things like that. So I'd like to get into the extreme reactors setup here. So let's just follow this quest line and we'll get through to the point where we can make this insanite, or however you want to pronounce it. So we're going to need to build a reactor first. So as it says, first things here. It's based off the original mod Big Reactors. Extreme Reactors allows you to build customizable multi-block reactors. The main element is, of course, uranium. You'll need this and a lot of coal and iron to get building. If you've ever lost along the way, use the book. Cool. So we've got uranium ingots. That's good. We've already got that going. And graphite itself. Hello, I did push something there. So if we go at reactors, so graphite bars here are made from coal, from smelting coal, or in my case, I do have the graphite seeds set up. So we are making graphite essence, etc., to be able to make graphite bars. So if I type the word graphite in here, we've got a few, not tons. I would like to just grab some. Let's just grab some coal, like 3 stacks, and we'll pop down. Show you all the normal furnace one, yeah. And we'll just make some more graphite bars because we're going to need quite a few. All right, so let's look at this. We want to open the book, not the other stuff. We want 16 graphite bars to get to this next quest. So if I type graphite, just grab a stack of 64. Cool. Quest, tick. We're going to get a couple of rewards. I got an iron furnace and some XP. All right, what it now wants, to build a reactor, you'll need to start by making reactor casings. These make up the frame and walls of your reactor, although the walls can be replaced with reactor glass if you'd like to see inside your reactor. For future reference, when a part says basic, this also means it can be used with other basic parts. The basic parts can also be used to build smaller reactors, as it has a certain size limit. Keep this in mind. Okay, so it wants 4 reactor casings and a reactor glass. Reactor casing is iron, graphite bar, and sand. So let's make reactor casings. 4 of them. Tick. And then the glass. So we're going to have to make some glass. Glass. Really? Glass isn't done yet? Oh, it's waiting for that furnace to be finished, I'd say. No? Be making. Oh, do we not have any sand? Sand? Plenty of sand. Plenty of red sand. Glass. Not sure what happened there. Just took its time. And there's a reactor glass. Cool. So we're going to get some extra casings. All right, so then we're going to need a few other bits and pieces. You can see the image here. We've got like a controller, which is this thing here. We've got input and outputs. Then we've got, you'll need something for the power to come out. And you also need what basically control rods. So like any nuclear reactor, you would lower and raise rods in coolant in order to enable the reaction to occur. So we need control rods and fuel rods. These control how fuel is inserted into the reactor. Control rods are placed in the top face of the reactor. You also have more than one per reactor, but you must have at least one. Typically, the more you have, the more fuel the reactor can use and burn. That can mean more overall power, but at the cost of higher burn rates, depending on the setup of your reactor. For every control rod, you'll need enough fuel rods to extend to the base of the reactor. For example, if your reactor is 5 blocks tall, you'll need 3 fuel rods extending from each control rod. If you right-click on a control rod, you can control how much fuel is burned in the reactor by inserting or retracting the fuel rods. The further that you extend the rods, the less fuel that will be burned. So it wants control rods and the fuel rods. So I'm thinking we go with like 7 by 7 is what I want to set up. So I'm going to need to make a whole bunch of reactor blocks in order to make what we need. So the other thing, obviously, we need a controller. This is this guy here, which needs some casings, some uranium, and pretty simple stuff. The fuel rods are just steel ingots, apparently. Uranium and glass. And then the control rods are steel, reactor casings, etc. So I'm going to need active force. I don't know why these are reinforced. Active forge energy power tap. I don't know what the difference is. Anyway, so we'll make power tap. We need to make charging port. I don't know what these are. I'd like to make a couple of redstone ports. Just some gold and some steel. I don't think it needs to be that's the difference. We've got reinforced and non-reinforced. I don't need the reinforced stuff. We can do it in just iron. So we need some redstone control to be able to turn things on and off, and then access ports to be able to put things in and out. So pretty simple. I'm going to make a bunch of this stuff off camera because it's just crafting. I'll be back once I've got enough for what we need. Okay, I've made a bunch of items, and obviously making those items completed quests as we went along. So this is a control rod one. This is the one for the controller, which I spoke about. Again, they're not super expensive items to make. And then we've got our energy tap and our solid access ports, which are required. You need power out, which is the so active forge energy power tap. I've got one of them, and then I've got two of these. So you need to be able to put fuel in and take power out. That's cool. That's all done. This is going to build the smallest reactor possible, 3x3x3. I'm not going like that. I'm going big. So yes, this teaches you how to make one, and I can claim the rewards for it. And then we can go bigger. So the biggest you can go is 32x32x48. I've done 7x7x5, I think it is. Yeah, 7x7x5. So inside we will have multiple items. I've got 5 control rods. I think that's the right amount. I'm going to put one. Actually, I need a couple more. Maybe. So I want to do one there, but I'm going to do a cross of them. Actually, it's probably not the greatest having them right up against the wall. I think that is a bit of an issue. So we'll just go with the 3 rods. I've made a little bit too much. If I make this bigger later, we'll be fine. So ideally, we'll go with 4 rods, I think. I'm going to need some more of these. Fuel rods, so to make them so they're not touching the walls. That's not what they need to be there. I need the control bits there. My bad. Getting a little ahead of myself. I need this and this. As I said, I could do the corners. I think it does cause less efficiency. It's been many years since I set up one of these reactors, and I'm winging it a little. I'll probably get one in the middle, actually. One in the middle. So we'll get the 5. Maybe I can do more later, but we'll go the 5. Which is fine. I want to fill the rest of this in, and as I said, I'm going to need some more of these blocks. A few more of them. So let's grab them now. A few more reactor casings, please. Loop. I've left gaps around the sides. You can see them at the moment. They're 4 particular blocks that I've made. So the solid access ports, I'm going to put here and here. And one is going to be an in, one is going to be an out. Let's make, I think I've got to use a wrench. A wrench on me. Press and hammer might do it. Yep. So that's an output now. That's an input. Around the back here, I want to put my redstone. I had a wrench there. Derp. I want to put my redstone connections here. And once we're set up, I'll show you how that works. And then we're going to put our power out here. So this is where things will come out. Ooh. And my researchers have done the open the nether. So we can do a nether mine now. That'll be cool. Okay. Reactor controller is going to go in the middle here. We're going to need our fuel rods. So under each of these control rods, we actually have to put fuel rods down. So. Right, and then I need some glass and some other bits and pieces at the front here. I'm going to put glass in here. I think I've got everything else I require. This should complete... So this should complete the reactor. But machine's too large. Why is the machine too large? It's 5 in the X direction. So that's odd. Because we'd be able to make one this big. Tell me how to do everything. Do I particularly... Well, that's a bummer. I was sure this would work this size. 5 in the X direction. Let me look at this. Again, you know, we're looking at bit here saying we can go to 32 by 32, but whatever. Oh, okay, that's why. Because I'm using basic. Derp. Need to go reinforced to go bigger. Okay, that makes more sense. I'll just cut this down and put a wall through here. So bear with me. I'll just move these blocks around, and then maybe I can look at making some steel and making something bigger. Back in a moment. All right, I've got steel blending up, but that's going to take a while to get to what I want to do, which is the 5x5. So I've got this set up like this. I've just asked for an exporter and importer. I need to run some cables. I don't know if I've got cable around here somewhere. Maybe I'm going to have to run it. I didn't build my base fantastic either. Sure, you all agree there. So I'm going to need to run cable somewhere. Actually, is there something I can build over this? Just really quickly refined. We can do stone bricks covers. Do it with cobble too. I'll do it with everything. Can I? If I go and replace. Yes. So if I want to do the floor in stone bricks, what else can I do it in though? What would the floor look good in? Are we going to do it in this dark stone? That'll be very dark in here then, wouldn't it? I did throw this ancient stone down here just for giggles. Stone brick. I mean, we can do stone brick for now. What do I want to do? Let me just grab a stack of them. And then I want to run the cable through the floor. Probably here. It's actually a really good spot to run it. Let's run. This pick is just super OP now, by the way. It's a little bit too much. It just becomes uncontrollable. So if I get the cable, I run cable through here. I'm hoping I can put these on top. I can. Oh, not beside. Take it back off. Whatever. Yeah, so we can put covers on top. That's great. It's definitely going to be helpful for me here. We want to put importer, exporter. So this is in, this is out. You will be putting in uranium shortly. On the cable. Cool. Around the back here, we need to be able to turn the reactor on and off. So, as I said, let's just get some uranium. I should have a bit of it now. What have I got? Aurora blocks. I've got a couple of hundred uranium. Pretty sure. I need to check. Do I have uranium essence? What are you? I don't know what you are. Yeah, uranium essence is here. So we are making uranium. Oh, picking up junk. All the time picking up junk. Okay. Get rid of the stuff in my inventory. The vines I'll move. Let's just get rid of this essence stuff that was floating around. Must have been some of the rewards I got. Let's put these other pieces away just quickly. I did look at doing flux plugs and points, but I don't think I've got the right infrastructure to make a lot of them at this point. Long story short, exporter of uranium. That should see us filling up with fuel. So it is filling up with uranium. See your levels rising in the fuel rods. Max capacity is 60 buckets, and we're at... Oh, it'll be full in a second. It won't take too long. And then it should fill up this. Very good. Cool. So we got full stuff here. If I turn it on, we'll generate power, right? If I turn it on for a few minutes, what are we actually putting out? Not bad. Like 10,000 forge energy a tick. Obviously, it's now full. And if I left it running, we would... I don't believe the reactor will explode. I don't think that's turned on. And we don't have any modifiers or anything in this at the moment. It's very basic. It's not the greatest design. But yeah, we're just wasting power. So that's still generating power, but there we go. So what we want to do is we want to do a bit of redstone control here. We've got these two redstone ports. I'm going to set this one. That's just going to turn it on and off, set from a signal. Okay. This one here is going to output energy. So these are inputs. These are outputs. So I want the energy. I want it to be on while below. No. I want the signal to be active because this is... Yeah. I want the signal to be active. Come on. While it's... Well, actually, I just want it to be active while it's below... Let's say 70 for the moment. So that should turn... Okay, that's connected. Is this turned on? We'll have to work out how we do this. Next thing, let's just hook up some power withdrawal from this. This is probably full. I'm not going to be able to pull too much in the way of power, but let's flick this over and turn it so it's removing power. That's only doing 256. Let's throw this in and it'll do 32,000 voltage energy a tick. I do need to get more stuff on the Ender network here. I can probably also... Oops. I'll go in here and go... Plug. We just want to be cool about it. We can hook up all of this to both networks, if that makes sense. So let's do this. And that should now get power as well. Okay. So it's used a little bit of the power. Now, ideally, what will happen is once we start using power, and I need to find something that we can like strap this to and chew a bit of power up. Whether or not I do a lot of processing or something in one hit, like speed these things up and see what happens. But these aren't connected to that network at the moment. Still running on potato power. I mean, ideally, this should be my major generation of power. I mean, we could... These things pull power? Probably try and get it to use power that way. I need some more of the ender cell, the little disc things. And then we can hook it into here. Are you on... What power are you on? You're on that as well. So if I turn that on, you're using power. That should be... Should see a change in that amount. Full. Doing what I want. I need to use power. Things are a little too efficient. We're still too early in the game, if that makes sense. Taking that off there. In terms of power use itself, whether or not I put a capacitor on it or something like that, we do obviously have this basic storage. It holds 2 million. I mean, we could potentially look at another one. Or making some more batteries. Do I have any batteries? I'm making them? Is that what they're called? Batteries? Yeah, these things. You know, I could... Oh, that's a pattern one. Let's do this properly. Can't make any of this. I mean, we could try. I'm going to charge in my inventory too, isn't it? I don't know if I can go higher than that. I mean, I probably could if I had some more dielectric paste. Need another one of these. Need some energized steel. That's something I need to get the seeds for. Oh, it needs blocks of blocks. Awesome. Okay, so that's just another 4 million. If I drop down here, can I put you in? Yes, and you are pulling power. If I turn this on, I just want to know if it'll turn off when it hits 70%. No. Okay, so this thing isn't working yet. That's out. This needs to be insert, not extract. Ooh. Active while below 70%. It's below 70%, you should be active. If I turn it on now, you can't even keep up. There we go. Just want to know if this will turn off at 70, otherwise I'll play around with it until it actually works. No, doesn't look like that's actually doing what I want it to. So I'm going to play around with this, just give me a couple of minutes, I'll be right back. Okay, I hope this is about to trigger. I think I've got it correct now, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'll explain what I did wrong, as long as this actually works. So it should kick on at 70%, right? Fingers crossed. Well, 69% maybe? Hey, it just turned on and turned back off again. All right, cool. So you can see that it creeps up a little bit, because it was just on for a split second. It does generate more power than is needed, and you can see it's just running out now. So that kicked it up, and we're still using power. I've got the wither stasis thing set at the moment to hold a wither. trying to get this thing to work, but it's not giving me any fluid at the moment. Possibly this isn't quite right, but I'm just sort of trying to use some power somewhere. These supposedly use like 1,000 a tick. Or 1,000, or whatever it is, 1,000 per process. That's cool. Just wanted to use some power to see it work. What I did wrong was when I opened this one up and selected this, I didn't hit save. So you need this one here set from signal. This needed to be an input, this needed to be an output, and this one needed to be active while below 70%. So again, I could bring that up very slightly, but this should keep it at 70%, and it'll just keep turning it on and off as it goes below 70% to bring it back into line. So I could probably put it at 75, for example, and we'd still have enough overhead. 75% save. Make sure you push save whenever you do it. So that will have kicked that on. You can see here it's just climbed up, and it's probably going to, maybe 70 was the number. Probably going to waste just a touch of power. Again, I'm not running tons of power out of here at the moment. We could be upgrading this a bit more and putting more batteries in or whatever we need to do. But this is literally just pulling a little bit of power every now and then just to keep that active. Again, it's not doing what I thought. It should be able to pull ether gas out of here, but maybe I got something wrong. It's been a while since I played with the laser drills and the wither. But again, I just did that to just use some power more than anything. So I can probably come down here and either get rid of this guy because he's noisy. I can't actually hit him either. I turn this off, the stasis thing off. He will move around now. Oh no, he's not even... Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's why it's not working. Can I turn you on now? Okay, will that now generate ether gas? If he's in the area. Not super worried about him. Can I get up through here? That is on, isn't it? The stasis thing? I'm going to turn it off again. Are you on? Now you're on. Let's try again. Yeah, hold him. Again. Not pulling fluid. Not the end of the earth. We'll work out what we need to do there. But obviously this is now automated, processing some power. I don't know if we've had anything come out yet. Obviously there's a waste that comes from a reactor. Need to... It's fine. So if we go back to the book, again, we can make this better by getting the reinforced parts. Completely missed that. That's derp on my part. Let's claim the reward. A bit of dank. Yippee. And then you can put moderators in. So obviously, inside there are different moderators that you can put in terms of that help with burn rates, etc. So we can put any blocks of material in here. You can use fluids as well, I believe. So if we just pop open the book, that should still be in my inventory. If we go back, turbine, in here, moderators. So radiation moderator is a block of fluid that can be placed inside the reactor to absorb part of the radiation emitted by the fuel and move heat away from the fuel rods. Convert radiation to heat more or less efficiently, etc., etc. So there's all... Normally the more expensive... some fluids... We use as moderators to mark the special tooltip. Yeah, so it's not telling me what each one is, but... I'd say somewhere it'll explain it to me. Alright, so obviously one of the outputs from it, and I don't know if we've made any yet. Cyanite, I think it's called. This stuff. The cyanite is a byproduct of your reactor. And then, so once we've used enough fuel, we've only got 0.13 depleted there at the moment. We don't quite have the amount So it's 79 millibuckets of waste. Once it generates enough waste to make an ingot. Aren't you working? You need direct line of sight, don't you? That's the problem, isn't it? I think it needs to have an open block under it. Find out a second. Oh, I don't know then. That's open. It's not doing it. That's cool. I'll play with that. So this, remember I put it to 75. It should tick in again. Come on. There we go. It's on. And again, it's just sort of creeping up because it's, yeah, before it ran for the 5%, so it ran for longer, but that's literally just idling over. I don't even know what it produces at full power at this point. We're going to need to use a lot more power before we can see that. But let's claim this one. What we got for that? And then obviously it wants us to deal with waste, which is a cyanite, as I said, and then it needs that to be reprocessed. We can turn it into plutonium and a few other things. There's also this fluidizer. Now, this is something I haven't played with, and I do need to look at how long I've recorded for at this point, but now that we're collecting some waste from our reactor, part of the progression requires you to fluidize some of the ingots you get. So we need a fluidizer. Something that I don't... Fluidizer casing. Requires uranium. Okay, this is something that I haven't looked into. I've never done the fluidizer. Fluidizer is a customizable multi-block that has a minimum size of 3x3x3. Just like the other multi-blocks, the frame will need to be made out of casings, while the face can be made out of glass. We need an output port and probably need two of them. When you get your hands on the product the fluidizer makes, you'll need an output port and you'll need power. And then solid and fluid injector. Fluidizer can operate in one of three modes: solid to fluid, combining two solids into a fluid, or combining two fluids into a new fluid. It all depends on the type of injectors that you use for the multi-block. For example, if you want to convert plutonium into a fluid, you can use one solid injector. If you want to combine two solids into something new, you'll build the multi-block with two solid injectors. If you want to combine two fluids, you need two fluid injectors. This might seem confusing, but it is important for progression. For example, you'll want to convert magnetite into a fluid in the fluidizer first, then send it to a reprocessor with ludicrite to create ridiculite. Magnetite. Wow. Ludicrite. Rosenheit. By using the fluidizer, we can combine plutonium with yellorium to make verdurium. And you put it through a reactor and it produces rosenite. Use verdurium as a fuel, you'll need to make fuel injection ports for your reactor. Might need to empty out the fuel currently. Wow. So there's all sorts of things here to get to this in insanonite. Now that you have a rosenite, you can mix it with benitoite to create insanonite. Oh my gosh. So we got to get ores to make this stuff. One of the hardest materials to get in the mod. Of course it is. So I reckon we're going to end up with a couple of reactors here. So we'll probably want, one just turning uranium into like plutonium, etc., and fluidizing some of it, reprocessing some of it to make plutonium, so cyanite, sorry. Once you're fully functional, reprocess, you can pump in power, water, and cyanite to create plutonium. This can be used as a fuel for your reactor and creates its own waste magnetite. So we're going to need something converting uranium to cyanite. We need cyanite, power, water to create plutonium. We need to put plutonium through a reactor to create magnetite. And then we can reprocess other stuff. I'm going to need 3 reactors. Maybe they only need to be small, right? Maybe they only need to be something like this. But I'm going to need, I reckon, 3. So I probably want to... It's terrible. I probably want to move this guy. Or I'm going to build them underneath. Or or beside or something. My base needs to go that way a bit. Maybe I'll build the next one downstairs, but I reckon we're going to need multiple of this guy, at least 3. I'd say at least 3 reactors, just from reading that book just then, or reading the quest line. Maybe more. Might even need 4. Have you produced anything? No. This is wrong then. This is just wrong. It's not right. Anyway, that's fine. Maybe it's too tall. Maybe it's looking at the working area. Maybe it's not even in the working area. No, look at that. That's a problem. Stop looking, everyone. I found out what the problem is. Go further down. Is this a thing? No, I go... Oh, that's the laser drill's working area. This one. Can I show your working area? Depth of 102. 106. I want it like 106, 107. Again, I don't know if I've got to work through what I have to do here. Anyway, I'll work that out. So yeah, I'm going to need to make a couple more reactors, so I'll get some more things processing in the background. Then we'll start working on the fluidizer and the reprocessing setup. And probably, again, I'll work around whether I don't really want to move it again. I'll make it pretty here, and then we'll maybe, as I said, maybe put 2 in down here. But we'll work through what it looks like, and then we'll start using the power for something. I mean, we've got plenty of quarries and things running. I can get some sort of multi-dimensional power transport, and we'll be able to make a lot more. Obviously, later on, we're going to need tons of things. There's so many items just in this. We haven't got anywhere near yet. So many things to do. Blood magic and evil craft and some more pneumatic craft, and then there's a whole immersive engineering line and magic and all sorts of things. I'm going to go and make a nether mine, because that's something I can do now, I believe. I don't know if it's a particular... There's a nether mine. I want one of them. Cool. I'm going to go plop that down in the village and see what we can do. You can go away and that. Cool. Got so much stuff on me now. But I'm going to go pop this guy down in... Did that work? This guy in the village. Still don't have mechanics. Still trying to level up a little bit more and getting them to be really, really self-sufficient while I continue working on what I need to do next. So thanks, as always, for watching. I'm pretty sure we're at the wrapping up point. I'm going to do it here anyway. Thanks for watching. Comments down below. I hope you enjoyed it. I need the mechanics up for this wooden gate, by the way. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll come back next time. We'll do a little bit more of this. And I'll try and have it all set up so I'm literally just connecting things together and showing you guys, and then we're going to work out what we can use power for. I mean, when you get down to it, there's even draconic evolution in here, but it's been many generations of Minecraft since I've touched that. Still plenty of things to get through and use power on. Maybe we can just completely boost our system in mechanism or the like. Ooh, flame, take that. Yeah, but I don't know what else we can use power on other than just running a bunch of quarries. Anyway, hostile neural networks maybe. We can get some more drops from that. Alright, thanks again. Comments below. See you in the next one. Bye everyone.